All right, let's build a 2-page layout and add a little bit more detail to this one. We are going to work on all the rest of these layouts with a little bit of texture paste. Now, this is the opaque matte texture paste. It kind of comes out like icing and it dries white. The opaque means that it's going to keep its color. And so here I'm just spreading it onto this wood grain background. And you can see I can tap that texture paste and get some raised dimension. You can see how all that detail comes through. This is just to make it look like snow. And so I can go back through and spread it if I want it smoother, or I can add that texture. Really, this is just where you get to be creative and have fun. So I'm kind of building a scene here and creating a snowbank for all of my layout to kind of fall into. And so both the left and the right page get a little bit of that texture paste. You can leave it to dry for a couple hours, or you could hit it with a heat gun if you want to speed it up. Here it is once it's dry, so you can see all of that texture it brings in. It's subtle because it's white and it's on a really light background, but in person and up close you can see just that really fun detail that it brings, and it really does look like snow. So now I'm coming back to the sticker sheet, and I'm going through to all these little dies that are the stickers that are actual pieces from nature, the pine cones, the trees, and I'm adding that texture paste to those items to make it look like snow has literally fallen on and stayed on those pieces. So again, do as little or as much as you want, make it as textured or as thick as you want, but it is going to just set off to dry and become another really fun detail on this page when it comes together. So I start by doing those things so that they can be drying while I gather all my other pieces. So here are some of the die cuts from the exclusive collection, and I did the same thing with those. So I showed you doing it on the sticker sheet. I also went through the dies and did those pieces as well. And those have already dried, so I'm ready to start assembling this page. But you can see once it's dry, how fun that is, and it looks like real snow is just flocked onto those branches and those pine cones. It's such a fun technique to use with this project. Look at the detail on that snow cone, that pine cone. It's so fun. And there it is again on the branches and the berries. So just have fun with this. It's a really fun, easy, no way to mess up kind of technique. So I've got all those pieces done. They're drying. I'm going to come back to the left side of the layout and build this one from start to finish. So I'm just gathering, again, from those exclusive die cut pieces, these circles that are cut for you. So again, really easy to make something like this in a design space file or with your Cricut machine, but these are done for you. So you don't even have to worry about sizing them or scaling them down. You can just use them from this workshop collection and get that really fun look to your photo mounts. So I've chosen 3 photos that are going to go in between this circle shape. So you can, again, you could cut these out prior to, but I can just easily place them behind the circle and then just go through with my scissors and trim off any excess. So I'm just going to take a minute to do this. And with these photos too, when you're working with a project or a page that has multiple photos on it, you want to think about which photo you're putting in which spot. So you can see I've got 3 photos here, and I've got the center photo that's just one person, really focused, centered at the camera. I want that to be my center photo. Both of the other photos have multiple people on it, so those are flanking that focal center photo. So think about that when you're working with your photos, what the subject matter is, where they're looking, what placement they're in. And you can see the photo that I still have left, the one that's going to be on the right side, it is looking out to the right. Now, if this was a single page layout without a companion page, I would probably have put that photo on the left circle, because it's looking in and I would want it to be looking into the center of the page. But because this is a 2-page spread, that photo is looking off to the right, which means it's still a part of the layout because there's more photos and more layout left to come when I finish off that other page. But if that were just a single page, I would have wanted to switch those 2 photos so that the subjects in the photo weren't just looking off. Does that make sense? So it's just kind of a fun way to think about how your photos interact with each other and with the design of your scrapbook page. So when you're working with photos, just take some time to think about how the story is being told through the photos, the people in them, and where the photos are actually placed. So I've got all 3 of these in place, just trimming off anything that might be overflowing or hanging off of that fun wooden frame, and placing that is going to be right in the center of my photo. I'm adding some foam tape just to pop that up. You can do a little or a lot, whatever you prefer. I'm just kind of getting some on there to show you how this can all come together. I'm definitely not a patient foam tape user. I love it and I use it quick and rip it. I know lots of people like to use the scissors to cut it, and that's a great way too, especially if you have the Teflon scissors. Those work really well for cutting anything that's adhesive backed so that your scissors don't get gummy. So that's a great way. I've just too impatient and was trying to get this done for you on the video. So now I'm adding a zip strip to the top of the page. We simply trimmed that off, and then you can trim off the excess from all your zip strips and use them on different projects. This one we're going to use directly onto this page here, and then another just strip of cardstock that we cut at the beginning by using the cutting diagrams in the brochure. So that's just adding a little pop of color, a little border to the top of the page. And now we're going to embellish our photo cluster with some of these die cuts and stickers. So here's the one really large from the die cut sheet. Again, you get so many options with that die cut sheet because it can be sized perfectly for what we're trying to design with these embellished layouts. So that texture paste has dried. You can see it right there on the screen, how much it adds and how fun that is. And now I'm just adding all the different sprigs. You can do this, again, any way you want, any combination of them. I'm just building those and making them feel really organic and fun as they frame around my photo cluster and bring more attention back to those photos. I'm just always kind of playing around, figuring out the best placement, making sure that everything feels balanced. And here come the fun pine cones, again, that have been coated with that texture paste. Trying to decide which size goes where. Again, totally personal preference. So you can copy exactly what you see in the picture, but you can also see on the sticker sheet, you've got some really large pine cones and some smaller ones from the die cut sheet. So I'm just referencing back to the picture to see which one fits in which spots on the layout best. What I love about these workshops, though, is that you really can just use your imagination and all the pieces and create anything you want. You're not stuck to this exact design because we've given you so many different pieces that you can build or create anything you want with them, and it makes it really fun. The creative process here has so much potential. And if you don't want to have to guess, you can easily follow those instructions, and it makes it so fast and so easy, but again, so elegant because you've got all of this dimension and detail to each layout. So I just trimmed off the stem of that so it could tuck in there a little bit more. You can see by adding some foam tape and again, that texture paste, we are just really building up the dimension on this page, and it's so pretty in real life. There comes another pine cone just to kind of hide that little seam right there. And now we're going to find some of the the wooden embellishments that go with this collection. So I'm spelling the word outdoor memories. You can see it all coming together, finding each little letter to make that all come to spell that word. Obviously, if you don't want to use the outdoor, you could just put memories. Lots of options here, but perfect for these photos especially. And I'm sure you have some beautiful outdoor photos that you can use, even if they're not winter Again, the fall photos would look so pretty on this. Any kind of camping photo would be perfect for this layout. You could omit the texture paste if you don't want that snowy look. And this would really work with almost anything. There's such beautiful neutral outdoor photo or papers and embellishments and things. So another fun idea would be to add even the texture paste to these wood words. So I didn't do that here. I just left them raw, but you could easily add some of that texture paste on there and make it look like it's even snowed on the words. You could paint them, you can stain them with re-inker. There's so many ways to use these wood shapes. For this particular layout, I loved just leaving it plain because it made it feel really outdoorsy and really like it would be in nature. So, but really you can use your creativity to do so many different things with this, and that's what I love about these projects. So again, I love using liquid glass to adhere these wood pieces down because then I know they're going to stay. One more letter and then we've got all of that in place. These again are just from the sticker sheet. You can use any of these fun little embellishments, and even after doing the 4 projects that we're going to assemble with this one collection, there's still lots of extra pieces that you can use for even more fun with the Spruced Up collection. So you can see that sangria color just adds a little bit of detail. And I'm just showing you, while I didn't do it on this page, you could use your liquid glass not only for the adhesive, but you could go over the berries or the branches and add some detail there, which would dry to that really pretty clear dimensional look. And so just another fun idea if you want to take it to another level would be adding liquid glass. So now we're building the right page. And again, you can see I've got more photos of this exact same scene. And so that's why those photos on the right worked so well, because then I planned out the photos that are also going on the right. So this layout easily holds 5 photos, which is great if you're really trying to tell a story or about an experience where you've got a lot of different photos to share. Sorry, just trimming that photo off camera, obviously. And then we will add one more photo to the center. And you can see on this particular piece, the journaling spot is already there for you. So I didn't add another photo. You totally could. So I guess technically I did add 4 photos to this layout. The center we're going to embellish on this, but if you wanted to, you could really add 6 photos and do your journaling somewhere else if you wanted to. You can really customize these however you need for what your photos and your storytelling is needing at the time. So I'm assembling this exactly as it is in the brochure so you can see how it all comes together, but definitely take your own creative liberties as you're creating this for yourself. So see, easily a photo could have gone right there in the center, but I'm going to use that to embellish, and you'll see how this all comes together. There's that other really large branch that came from the die cut sheet. Again, exclusive to this workshop collection. And then I'm coming back to the sticker sheet to really build this out. Now I love that because we've planned these workshops in advance, that those wood words fit right within the circle because they were designed for this specific thing. But you could, again, use them anywhere you wanted. It's just fun that they're already arched to fit right inside a circle. Destination Fun, again, a really useful little subtitle that you can use for anything. I'm adding that little magical sticker. I love everywhere I get the chance to add just a touch of that sangria color. You can see it's in the berries and that little frame on magical. It just really helps with like a grounding color to this whole collection that feels really neutral and soft. And it doesn't take much of that deep, pretty maroon to help it all pull together. So now I'm adding that bird right in the center. I added some foam tape to make him pop up right out of the center of that photo mat. But again, if you had another photo, you could put the bird off to the right, or where I'm putting now this other pine cone branch, you could easily put the bird up top. So many options. Here comes the other pine cone sticker. Again, covered in that texture paste. It is just so fun. And I tried to make it look like it was just dripping off of those pine cones, just like you would find it, you know, if you found one in nature. I played with that texture paste to just kind of put a glob right on the edge and pulled down. I don't know if you can see that detail or not in the video, but just have fun, like making it feel realistic, or, you know, piling that on to make it just really come to life. So I should have put this one down before the sticker because the die cut needs to tuck behind the sticker, but luckily I was able to pull that corner up just a little bit. And then just adding some of these other sprigs. There are so many fun sticker pieces that have different branches, again, which really add to that natural feel. So again, another little branch coming right under there. You could add some foam tape if your texture paste is really thick down there. Mine stuck nice and smooth to the texture paste itself, but you could easily add some foam tape if you needed to. And then just to mimic the right page or the left page, I'm adding that same zip strip to the top and the same little 1/4 inch piece of the cardstock right at the top. There we have it. So yeah, I just need to add my journaling and this layout will be done. I'll show you what both pages look like side by side so you can see how those photos work so well across the page. You'd add journaling. You could even put journaling on the right page a little if you needed to, but it comes together so beautifully and so many fun details, again, that you didn't have to work too hard to assemble because things were pre-cut for you.